7 Days to Die has gone through tremendous change throughout the years since Alpha 1. Let's look back on how things once were, since we are about to go through another huge change with Alpha 20 on the horizon. This survival crafting game has been focused on gathering resources, battling the undead, and base defense since its inception. The setting is after a third world war that has left the Earth devastated and infected. You are a survivor in this new post apocalyptic world. Currently on screen is pre Alpha 1 and Alpha 1 footage that the devs released to those people who invested into the game or pre ordered it. In 2013, the first playable version of the game was given to those players who paid for it. The game performed so well on Steam Greenlight that the developers rushed out this official Alpha 1 that we are currently seeing. This map itself is a testament to how old this footage actually is. In the next update, called Alpha 1.1, a big list of new features were added to the game to entertain this surprising new player base. New biomes like the Burnt Forest, Nuclear Wasteland, Forest, and the Plains were added to the game. It's hard to imagine the game as it is today without some of these modeled biomes that started off the franchise. It's heavily apparent 7 Days to Die was inspired by Minecraft graphically, and throughout this video you can see this inspiration slowly fading away as the alphas come and go. Eventually, 7 Days to Die turns into its own identity. Terrain, biomes, and building will always, however, have that hint of Minecraft flavor. Shortly after Alpha 1 came Alpha 2 in November of 2013, which added a ton of fixes to this buggy game. Along with these fixes came multiplayer as well, which had different events like Deathmatch and Horde mode, allowing players to finally play with their friends. The spider zombie that is currently being reworked in Alpha 20 was added to the game at this point as well, along with dogs. I can't even imagine 7 Days to Die without the threat of a sprinting dog coming around the corner at any DOI explored. I'm just now remembering how you physically had to pick up the items that you were gathering. What a shock. The lazy side of me just wants to scream at the fact that you had to do this. Fast forwarding to Alpha 5 in December of 2013, yes, 1 month later, 7 Days to Die comes out on Steam Early Access for players who haven't got the game yet. This update is huge just for this alone, and it focused mainly on bugs and optimization towards Steam. However, some minor graphical improvements were added towards lighting and biome transitions, along with some new recipes. This is the game I'm starting to remember more clearly when I started playing. I get the strongest Minecraft vibes from this version. Considering you had to actually design your recipe in the crafting menu, such a throwback to Minecraft. Oh, Alpha 6 in January 2014 was one of the most major change-riddled alphas released until this point. Two of the most important features included the new metalworking system and weapon breakdown system. Players can now use forged ingots and use this forge with the plethora of new recipes added like concrete, bullet crafting, sniper rifle construction, etc. Base building was changed a lot as well with the new base materials like tungsten doors and concrete mentioned earlier. The snow biome was also a major focus of this update. You can now explore the snow-capped forest lands and find the new POIs added with this alpha. Of course, with the new biome comes new zombies as well. Players got to see the Frigid Hunter, Lumberjack, and Frostbitten Worker. And don't forget that with this alpha also came the ability to hold E to pick up items nearby on the ground. A small quality of life update for those 2014 players. And we are already at Alpha 7, released in 2014. This update brought new life to the game with a focus on multiplayer and recipes. A stealth system, a cooking system, a buff/debuff system, and a downgradable, upgradable block system were all added sometime in this alpha. These are all huge parts of the game now, and with these systems came a ton of new recipes, especially for food and drinks. Now, I mentioned multiplayer, and with the addition of the land claim block, players can now control a zone of land for themselves in multiplayer. really making multiplayer a more interesting prospect for bases and base defense against potentially enemy players. And roaming hordes were also coming about, so players needed to keep an eye out for them. Jumping to Alpha 10 from November 2014, the biggest hype of this alpha was the brand new character creation system that maybe is even more detailed than The Sims, although not as elegant. Lots of new bars for body morphing to players' content were implemented with this system. However, that's not all that came with this update, as old-time players will remember the zombie heat map system. God, this used to bug the hell out of me. The hordes of undead would come when you were just trying to craft up your iron ingots. Some items worthy of note being added here include the nail gun, hatch doors, and shipping crates that need to be broken down for loot. Oh, and the wellness system was introduced here. Alpha 11 in 2015 saw the upgrade to the Unity 5 engine, which improved performance and graphics immensely throughout the game. Bugs and refinement of the game were still, however, a big focus of this update. The good old quality range system for guns, armor, and tools were added at this time, which is starting to make the game really feel like it is in the modern sense, where everything is level based and quality of guns is a big part of how much damage you do to the zombies. The destructive feral zombie was also added at this time. Its powerful attacks are something the players hadn't seen from a zombie up until this point during the daylight, which is very scary. Alpha 12, July 2015, saw the vehicle system finally hit the game with the mini bike introduced to players. You must first, however, find the book, and as players know, this can be difficult. A new weather system, including rain, dust storms, and snow, will help make the game even more immersive with this alpha as well. I'm guessing the Unity 5 update earlier probably helped make this possible. And you might want to watch out for bears, since they were also thrown into the game. Alpha 13, December 2015, included a lot of new systems like world temperature, zombie crippling / dismemberment, and the zombies can now be knocked down, making combat even more interesting. In a grand scale, the temperature system might have the most overall impact upon players at this time, because in any biome you're going to feel this. No more running around naked. Some minor improvements include new zombie high-res models, a new UI, and a brand new map. Alpha 14, March 2016, saw an announcement for 7 Days to Die to be released soon on Xbox and PlayStation, thus starting the sad fate that is to soon befall console players as the game is ultimately left for utter shit by Telltale Publishing and the Fun Pimps. One could do a whole video detailing this shit show of management, but that's for another day. Back to Alpha 14. It added a ton of new locations to discover in the world, and with these locations also came a lot of new recipes like dynamite. The new workbench and cement mixer help complement these new recipes as well. And as always, a lot of the alpha is just bug and exploit fixes that players have found throughout testing. Skipping forward to Alpha 16, released in June of 2016, we saw a lot of changes continuously being made to zombie types, player progression throughout the game, and random gen. And it would be impossible to go over everything quickly, so let's take a look at some of the big concepts from here on out with these alphas. At this point, 7 Days to Die seems to have evolved into its own graphic counterpart from the old, nostalgic Minecraft days of early game. The world itself has seen much improvement until this point, so what's the biggest feature of this alpha? Electricity. It was added with a full complement of recipes and traps to help cull the undead hordes as they approach your horde base. Electric fences, spinning blades are just some examples of these. Bases can now be even more modern with lights and be creatively thought out to take advantage of these new features. A year later came Alpha 17, to PC only, with the addition of vehicles as we know them today, including the 4x4, the bicycle, the motorcycle, and gyrocopter. People can now take to the skies and probably crash because this thing is hard as hell to pilot. Also came a brand new quest system from traders, which is also getting revamped in Alpha 20, I believe, to be more efficient. And now that we're pretty caught up to modern times, let's look to the future with Alpha 20 and get a good look at how it looks different than Alpha 1. It's crazy seeing Alpha 20 and Alpha 1 side by side. It almost looks like a completely different age of gaming entirely. How one game can be in development for so long to evolve itself into a new age of gaming is impressive. Let me know what you guys think of these alphas and how you remember they were. I'm interested in what alpha was your favorite as well. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed the look through time on 7 Days to Die, and get hyped for Alpha 20. Hopefully, it comes out soon. This 7 Days to Die journey hasn't quite ended yet.